It's late afternoon, August the 6th, 2074. I was out here just walking around and gobbling up figs, and I thought, well, it's getting kind of late and almost dark. It's getting close to being dark. So, should I or shouldn't I make a video? Well, I've got a lot of ripe varieties, and so I decided I would switch on the phone and gobble a few figs with the camera running. Good. I noticed that the LSU Tiger are swelling up really nicely now. Already, August the 6th, as you can see. I hope you can see. I hope the video's optimal. It has good light gathering capabilities. This one here is just about ripe. So probably tomorrow I'll video again, or the next day for LSU Tiger. Look at it, a lot of them are getting ripe. Look at that. Yeah, I'm impressed. That's a very, very, very good sign. Uh-oh, this one looks like somebody took a fig, an entire fig, and ate it. That's not right. Jeez, uh-oh, this one's almost ripe. Oh, that's close to eating. I'll eat that one tomorrow. My Alma are not getting ripe. These are, as I've mentioned before, my latest in-ground varieties of my varieties. Well, I'll let you see it. This is my Rondi Baux, and they're just beautiful. I absolutely love this time of year. If we look up there, can I? Yeah. There's ripe Rondi Baux everywhere. And I've been eating so many of them, and are good. It's one of my favorite figs ever in all time. Look at this. This tree's big, and I'm going to just walk around it and show you the different sections. Oh, wow. This one's very, very, very... I hope there's enough light here. Look at that. Exquisite. Excellent. There's no other name for it. What a wonderful flavor. You know, there was a time, and let's talk about it for a moment. There was a time, quite a few years ago, when Rondi Baux, before it had been widely distributed, was a craze. It was the fig to purchase or find or trade for. And it deserved that recognition. It certainly did. And over time, it faded. You know, different figs get promoted for various reasons over time. You know that. You know why and the reasons. And sometimes new figs are discovered. And other times, figs are promoted for sales, to increase sales and such. After one has already been widely distributed. Look at that. The birds have started to get to this one, even though I have a little net. Look at that. I'll eat it anyway. Don't mind me, I'm just enjoying myself. I see a really ripe one there too. This one looks nice. Rondi Baux is not a very, it's not a very large, it's a medium-sized fig. Oh, wow, look at that one. But it's delicious. And for those of you that are confined or restricted to growing in containers, I only wish that you had a little room, or if you do, give it a try to have one in the ground, because figs taste better when they're planted in the ground. 99 times out of 100, unless there's huge range you can't control or something like that, you know. And they have all those available nutrients that biologically, through evolution, they are accustomed to or they require for maximum efficiency, for maximum taste and fruit production. It's less, well, it's not artificial at all, it's natural. And natural generally is better than unnatural in our experience about various things. Okay, I'm going to move on. Wow. These are, oh, look at that. I'll be darned. Peter's honey. Uh-oh. Well, hold on a second here. I don't know what's that. The horn started beeping on the car. Look at that. That's a big fig up there. Do you see it? A main crop fig. Oh, it's not ready. But the Peter's honey are starting to mature here in 7A. I'm happy to announce. Okay, I've eaten a lot of figs from this tree already. I stand here stuffed. This is a Celeste tree, and it's just an exquisite variant. You know, the Celeste, we've talked about this. It's such an interesting subject. It's never going to go away, Celeste. Celeste is just a wonderful fig. And although they are all of the variants, I call variants, are, I am sure, very genetically similar or the same, that doesn't mean that there aren't variants that come from different regions of countries, or from different countries, or from different climatic areas, maybe high country, mountainous areas, or what have you, warmer, colder, more moist, less moist, there's thousands of different conditions. Cold winters, not so cold, south, eastern, northeastern. I mean, all of those factors will contribute to the variations that you will experience, even if the fig is the same basic variety and has similar or same genes. Because it comes down to performance. Some perform better. Some are more vigorous, and they're larger, and some are tastier, they have more concentrated flavors. Same as with the Mount Etnas. So it's always good to keep looking. Get a couple different variants from very good sources and grow them. I am so fortunate that I have several that I just adore and admire and value. They're precious to me. I really, really enjoy them. And you know, I've got improved Celeste here, and I've just gobbled down a bunch of these. These are ripe too. Improved Celeste. And I've just was eating a bunch of them. And they're a little different than my Celeste. I don't want to pick that one. It's not. I should have turned this camera on earlier when it was daylight. But the taste is a little different and very, very good, but I wouldn't say as good as my Celeste. I'd say that they're the same. They're different, but I would rate them the same. Both exquisitely delicious. A nice handy fig to have around, a good, fresh, sweet fig. A tasty, though, fig. None of this business that they don't have a rich flavor, because they do. I don't believe in all that. These are very, very tasty figs that I admire. I mean, I would recommend that everyone have a good Celeste, a very, very good variant Celeste in their yard. One of the first things I would do if I was a collector. And an improved Celeste. Even though I don't like that name, Improved Celeste. This is an LSU fig that I wish they never gave the name Improved Celeste too, because Celeste doesn't need much improvement. They use it a lot in hybrid breeding because it has so many wonderful characteristics, and just the notion, the thought of the name, the connotations that the mind will conjure up when you hear Improved Celeste. Immediately you think, well, it's better than Celeste. Well, it's different than Celeste. It's not Celeste. One of the parents is Celeste, but it's not Celeste. And it's not better than Celeste. It's different than Celeste, and it's wonderful. Not as winter hardy, too, but I want to tell you that. But you should have it in your yard, by all means. Here's Meritorious. The Meritorious are ripe. I've been gobbling them down, too. This is one of my favorite. I don't like saying favorites, but this is certainly one of the Mount Etnas that I value because they generally are much larger than your general Mount Etna types. I've already eaten the real ripe ones. I don't want to pick these. They're not quite right. Oh, I see a white Rondi Baux through there, though. I'll gobble up. But tomorrow's another day, Lou. Hold it down. You're going to have a sugar attack. I've eaten quite a bit of figs here today. I've been eating them all day long. But get back to what I was saying. This here is Meritorious. See, the leaf is a little different than your basic Mount Etna type. A little bit. But it's an interesting variant, and it's a true variant, and I really like it much. I'm going to walk to a couple other trees now. Look at all these trees. There's a lot of fruit on these trees. The other Celeste over there, the big tree, I just ate a bunch off of there too. Is that a ripe? Let's see here. Tiger. I see it. Yes, it is. There's a ripe tiger. This one's smaller than the others. Let's open it up. There we go. Those famous words, probably could have went another day. Good. Certainly ripe enough to enjoy. This one's soft too. I could eat this one too. That's pretty soft. I'll wait till tomorrow when it's optimal. What a difference a day can make in the life of the fig. All right. These are O'Rourke. And I've talked about the O'Rourke this year and other years. I had it in containers over the years. I had it in the ground, different locations, different properties. I've talked about this several times. I talked about it this year, and I recommended it for your collection. But when you get O'Rourke, it's very close to Improved Celeste, but Improved Celeste is better. And it's very close to Celeste, and Celeste is better. But that doesn't mean that O'Rourke isn't very, very, very good and interesting and has some very good characteristics of its own. that make it a perfect candidate for your in-ground fig collection, if you would like to add it to it. That was good. That one's really good. Really tasty. And sometimes, you know, I just want to say I'm splitting hairs when I say, oh, that looks like a ripe one in there. No, not as good. Throw that one away. I don't like it. These are nice, though. I hope you can still see everything as well as I'd like you to. Here's a real ripe one. There. Oh, I got 3 ripe ones here to chew on. Yeah, I'll bring these into Debbie. But, well, if you had space for two figs and not 3, and you were interested in the LSU, then I would recommend, I see that's a nice ripe one there, up there. I'll get it tomorrow. I would choose a good variant Celeste first, because it's just unbeatable. And then I would choose right behind it by a hair split, improved Celeste. And I'd put those 2 in, but if I had room for 3, I'd put them all 3 in, including a work. But all of the LSU figs are fascinating to me. I love them all and value them all so much. And I look forward to eating them all, and I get bored just eating berry figs or the Mount Etnas. I really do. I like having Rondi Baux in my collection, like I have here, another in-ground tree. And I like having all the varieties I've talked to you about, and I wouldn't get rid of any of them. None of the ones that are here because they deserve to be here. It's a meritorious society around here, okay? Based on merit. That's the only consideration. How good is the fig variety in this area? Okay. There's an old standby here, an old Celeste, a smaller version than the others I have, but very tasty, and it's been here a long, long time, and I just wouldn't get rid of it. Let's take a walk into another area. Let's go over and look at the Sicilian Dark. Quick update on the cutting bed. You see that they're all doing well. Wonderful, wonderful. And now we will approach the Sicilian Dark. And we don't have too many ripe figs here, but we have some. You can see them. Let me walk around. It's a pretty big tree now. Walk around. I didn't eat anything off this tree today. No ripe ones, no ripe enough ones to devour on this tree. Again, another variant. Maybe my favorite of all the Mount Etna figs I have in my collection. I'd rather say maybe. I love this tree for a lot of reasons that I've mentioned in the past and will again, I assure you. That one's soft, but not really, and it's a weird fig. Well, I don't see any. It's a little dark in there. I better move along. This one is worth waiting for. My earliest of my Mount Etnas, which is out in the open like this, maybe I'll go there, but unfortunately, I've been eating a lot of those for a few days. Let me just take a walk over there very, very quickly. This is my earliest Mount Etna. I got to get rid of these works. Put them down somewhere. And you can see that it's different than the Sicilian Dark, because I have, there's a ripe one right there, a big one. And I've been eating these a lot. And my son has been eating quite a few of these too. He had a little bag of them the other day. And you see, they're in there. And they're ripe. Look. See? Here's a very ripe one. Here, look at that one. Let's open this one up. A couple ants. Look at that. Darn ants. I'm going to devour that fig. That's a good one. Mmm. There's another very ripe one. I see a bunch of ants on it. That would have been a beautiful fig if I'd have caught that a little earlier. Let me put these O'Rourke down here. So you can see the maturation is different on this particular variety, big time. Here's a really, really beautiful tree, beautiful fig. That's a big one of this earliest. I call this Mount Etna Unknown. Look at that. Would you look at that? That is a beauty. Perfectly ripe. Far, far, far. This is my earliest Mount Etna, period. You can see them. Look, there's ripe ones on every branch. They're all over the place. And look. Look. And you see the Sicilian Dark was different. Period. Let me taste this. There's no doubt that this one deserves to be in my collection into perpetuity. Look at that. It's delicious. Smooth and very rich and concentrated and perfectly sweet. I like my fig sweet, but not too sweet. These are perfect. Anyway, I have to move on now if there's going to be any light left at all. But tomorrow I'll eat a few more of these. There's plenty of these ripe and getting riper. And there it is. You can see the tree. It's out in the open just like the other tree. They're only 25 yards apart. And they face the same northwest winds, and they're out in the open, and the farmer's field, they face the farmer's field together. And this one's ripe and the other's not. And it's like that every year. And these will be all done when they're finished. And the others will continue to pump out figs, including the Sicilian Dark, which just goes on into, seems like in forever. It just never stops. Hold on. I hope this is still filming. I'm going to cut this out now and conclude this video. Thanks for watching. This is the Tres Esplets, the Spanish fig, and this has produced a lot of figs now. I mean, we've been eating these for a long time, and there's lots of them that are ripe, that have gotten ripe, that we've eaten. And there's ripe ones on here still, but I made a video about these. I like to say that this is I believe the fourth year, I believe, that I've had this from a cutting. It was in a pot originally. And this is maybe the beginning of the third season in the ground. But you can see it has very nice figs on it. Very beautiful figs. Can you see? Oh, well, maybe not. It's so dark. But I like the results of this fig better this year. I certainly do. It doesn't, as I mentioned, it's not up there with my Rondi Baux, but it's unique enough, and the taste is different. And some of the other characteristic traits of this fig are different enough to make it a curious addition to my collection. And so I wouldn't part with it at this time. Only time will tell, but I think, and it's winter hardy. It's out here in the open on its own. And now I have to go. There's more ripe Mount Etnas here, which I just can't. I can see that you can't see. Maybe I'll flash on my light. I don't even know how to do that. Yeah, maybe I do. Hold on a minute. Can I I do that? Not available while using. Okay, forget that. I have to learn how to do that. I never tried. I never filmed almost in the dark. Well, again, thank you for the visit. I certainly do appreciate it. I always like your visits. I hope you enjoyed visiting. And now some more ripe figs. I'll have to wait till tomorrow to find these. I can barely see. It doesn't look like there's too many ripe ones here. Let's see. No, I can't tell. I don't think so. All right. I had a great deal of fun. That was enjoyable. I hope you enjoyed it. The farmer's corn. It's 7 foot, some of them 8 foot tall, easily. Horse corn, feeder corn, acres and acres and acres. It seems endless acres on both sides of my property. Across the road, in the front of the house, is the same amount of acres, the same size farm as this size. So I'm surrounded this year by horse corn, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I just love out here. I just love it. I love the experience of it. I love that now all of the figs are ripening. It's hard to imagine, or to accept is a better word. Hard to accept that it is August the 5th already. Jeez. Hard to believe that. There's a ripe Mount Etna. There's a ripe fig. Let's chew it. Good. Good. Not as good as my Hardy Chicago Unknown or Mount Etna Unknown. But good. In all fairness, this one wasn't quite as ripe as the other. But boy, was that an exquisite fig. I can't wait until tomorrow to get another one. Good day.